one of my instructors on sports massage when I went to school in 1993, and I went to school at the Space Coast Massage Institute. He now owns his own school in Orlando, Central Florida School of Massage Therapy. I'm very privileged to call him one of my best friends, and I want to bring Michael McGillicuddy up to the stage to teach us a little bit about some self-care strategy.
This guy, let's go to this side. This guy, it runs his own school here in Orlando. He speaks on the lecture trail out there on sports massage, pain management, other subjects. He's also a certified kinesiotape instructor. He does many teachings throughout the whole United States. He is massage therapy. He lives and breathes it. He stands behind it. He's the one person that argues with me all the time, and I lose every single time. So I'm very proud of him, and he is a leader in the industry. And pay attention, he's going to go over some things with you that can help you prolong your career. And I've got to give him my mic and everything here, so give us a second.
Well, when we get ready to do it. So can you all hear me? Yes. Sometimes I don't need a microphone. What I want to tell you is, I love this profession. Some people struggle to figure out what it is that they want to do in their life. I found massage therapy in 1984. And I tell my students right now that I study harder now than I ever did when I was in school. Because to me, this is a profession that is near and dear to my heart. And I want this profession to be looked at by everybody that sees massage and have respect for it. When I started years ago, people ask me, what do you do for a living? I go, I say, what? They're like, and see, now people ask me what I do. I say, I'm a massage therapist. And if they start to laugh at me, then I laugh at them. Because see, I've done this for 27 years. I know what I can do for people. And if someone thinks that's funny, I just know they're ignorant. So to me, it's like, don't let people intimidate you, because the power that you have is unbelievable. The power of touch is unbelievable. So typically, the statistics were that massage therapists only lasted about 3 to 5 years. But I think that's changing, because there are more places for people to work now than ever before. And so I think two of the reasons why people left the profession was, one was they didn't know how to market themselves. And see, that's why what Linda and all these people are doing, saying, here, you need to know how to set up a business. And you need to know how to market yourself so that your business is successful. And I try and tell my students at school, business is almost more important than knowing how to do a massage. Because if you don't have anybody to work on, you can't make a living. See? So spend a lot of time learning about the business, the marketing aspect of massage. And then the other thing I always say is, this is a heartfelt business for me. I am very happy that all of you are here. I hope that you will spend 27 years like I have doing nothing but trying to give to other people. You know, but if you're going to do that, I always, before I come up here, I always like to think about something that's new, that's right off the top of my head. And there's this song. I don't know whether you've ever heard it before, but it's called "Waiting on the World to Change." Have you ever heard that song? I love to hear that song, but it's wrong. What I want to tell you is I love that song, but we shouldn't wait for the world to change. We should change the world. And if you do this, if you love massage, and you de-stress people, and you get them out of pain, believe me, everybody in here, every hour that you work, you're changing the world, one person at a time. But here's the thing, you can't do it if you're not taking care of yourself. So that's why I get to talk about self-care, and it's really important to me to express to you that massage is hard work. You all are students or recent graduates. Do you think it's easy? I said, no, if you're doing good work, you have to pay attention to what you're doing. You have to be putting some fairly good pressure on people. You have to know how to move from one part of the body to the other. There's nothing easy about massage. So, and so many people that come into this business, one of my slides says many people come to the massage therapy profession. They do so because they're sincere and they have a desire to help people. Well, you can want to help people, but if you're not in good enough shape yourself, then all you're going to do is hurt yourself over and over again. So to me, it's like, do you think massage therapists' bodies suffer to a great deal from physical stress caused by poor posture, repetitive daily activity, lack of consistent exercise? And the answer is obviously yes. So to go to the next slide, this is the company that I like to work with because they sell the bands and the balls that you do exercise on. Plus, they're the makers of BioFreeze and ProSage, and those are all products that I'm very comfortable with, and work with them for a number of years. So when we go to the next slide, the FSMTA did a survey of massage therapists, and see, the survey reported that 50% of the massage therapists suffered from some work-related injury. So that means half of the people in this room at some point may injure yourself, and that incidence will be higher if you're not taking care of yourself. So if you're new to the industry or you're a student, my heartfelt thing to say to you is please take care of yourself. Because you can't take care of other people if you're not in good enough shape to deliver the energy that it takes to do a good massage. And your clients are going to know that. If you're not strong enough, if you're not focused enough, if you're not in good enough health, those people are going to feel your hands, and they're going to feel your energy, and they're going to know that you're not strong enough to do this. So to me, it's like, the number one thing is take care of yourself first, not your client first, because if you don't take care of yourself first, then you can't do a good job on your client. You're hurting your client by the fact that you're not taking care of yourself. So what does a wellness, self-care and wellness have intended? So it says promote wellness, improve body mechanics, increase muscular strength and endurance, and promote muscular balance. I go to the next slide. These are some of the components. Like, if you're not in a good mental state, can you do a good massage? If you're angry at somebody, if you're tired, if you're all stressed out. So part of having a good mental attitude is really important before you ever walk into treatment. And I always used to laugh because I come from the old school and people would sit around and say, okay, get centered and do this all. And I'm like, why are you waiting till you walk in the room to do that? You should be doing that all the time rather than saying, okay, I'm going to work on this person, now I'm going to be this Buddha guy. It's like, it doesn't work. You have to have a good mental attitude all the time. And it's something you have to work on constantly. Nutrition, if you don't eat right, if you're eating candy bars and crackers and Cokes, it's not going to work. So you have to have some good food. Be putting good food in your body, and then do some physical activities. Now, you want to look at goal setting, because if chances are, if you just say, I want to be in better shape, and that's all you say, you'll never be in better shape because you don't have any plan. You have to have a plan. What's your goal for staying in good health? If you go to the next slide, what is involved in wellness or self-care is you need to do some cardio work. You need to be up and walking around some way, breathing and exercising. Everybody needs to stretch. Your muscles get sore and tight. You're not using your flexibility to keep you in trouble. You got to stay strong. So you can use some type of resistance bands or weights. And then core stabilization is keeping you. I tell people massage comes from your feet up. So if you have a weak stomach or weak back, you can't let the energy go up from your feet to the person because your core isn't strong enough. So there are specific exercises that you can do for your stomach and low back to keep them in better shape so that you don't hurt yourself when you're doing a massage. If you go to the next slide, posture is a thing that you should learn from school. If you don't have good posture, you're not going to be able to get a good massage. You're going to hurt yourself too. Ergonomics, taking time to make sure that your table's set at the right height and doing some stretching. These are all in there, and I'm trying to run through them because we only have 10 minutes, and I have some other things I want to do with you. So I'm going to run through this pretty quick. Next slide. Here are Theraband progressive bands. There's one of these in your packet, which I'm going to ask you to take out in a few seconds. These are different colors, and each color represents a different amount of resistance. So when you start to do some exercises, you don't want to have a band that's too hard. You'll hurt yourself. These Olympic athletes that on the tops is platinum and gold and all this. If you see one of those bands, it's probably going to be way too tough for you to do it, but people who work out with them all the time use them. If you go to your next slide, these are some of the areas. Do you ever have a neck ache or forward head posture as a massage therapist? Your arms, forearms get tired. How about your scapula or your hip or your calf? So I want to show you some exercises that we can do really quickly. The one thing that you want to remember about these bands are if you're allergic to latex, you can't use them because they have that powder and stuff. So there are other bands that you can get from the company that don't have latex. So, and then now we go to the next slide, and what do you need to do exercises properly? You want to have good posture, maintain good posture. You want to remember as you're doing your exercise to breathe out, not in, and then control it. So, I see everybody like at a place and they're working out and they're going, and you're just like, okay, that's not working really well for someone. So one of my favorite things is I go to the YMCA and I like to run on the treadmill. And I get to look out and see everybody working out. And it's like a zoo sometimes when you watch people work out. But you want to remember, one of the things that massage therapists know is when someone's not doing something right, don't go tell them that they're not doing it right unless they want you to. Because you can know they're doing something wrong, but if they're not into your advice, then they're going to get mad at you. They're going to leave you and say, who the hell are you? I didn't ask you to come over here and I'm having fun doing what I'm doing. So you have to remember that even though you know a lot of stuff, you have to be invited by that person to share that information with them. Otherwise, you're just being egotistical. There's probably, you look around, there's probably 100 things you could do in your own life to make yourself better. You want everybody poking at you, telling you all your faults. You're like, no one wants that. But when someone's ready to get some advice, they'll look and see if you're doing something correctly, if you're getting positive results. They're going to look at you and say, that person knows what they're doing. I'm going to ask them how to do this. So you want to be careful giving people information that they haven't asked you to give them, right? Next thing, again, having good posture. You want to tuck your pelvis under. Feet should be at like your shoulder. Tuck your pelvis under. Imagine you're being elongated and then have your arms down by your side. So this should be the basic posture that you're doing your exercises in. You don't want to be bending over or tilting or twisting when you do something. And sometimes people, they're at a gym and they want to impress everybody and they're using way too much weight. And you can see they're not in the right biomechanics just because they're trying to show off what they're doing. Can you go to the next slide? Remember breathing out as you're exerting yourself is what you want to do. Go to the next one. Control. Again, typically when you're exercising, if you're doing the concentric part of the contraction, what they ask you to do is 1, 2. And then when you're doing the eccentric contraction, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's controlled, and you have to breathe through that process. If you watch on TV, how many exercise pieces of equipment do people buy on a monthly basis? They use it 1 or 2 times and then they shove it in the closet or whatever. I'm saving you a lot of money right here, right? If you go to those websites which are in your book, you can see that you can look up the latest research on exercise. It has everything from how to start a wellness program to if someone had a specific problem, what we can do for them. That's free. It's a resource that Hygienic and Performance Health put out for you, so take advantage of it. Thank you for letting me work with you for a while.